Pope Francis has made a historic announcement. He has officially stepped down as the head of the Catholic Church. This decision marks a pivotal moment for the Vatican, but what is even more remarkable is the man chosen to take his place. Cardinal Luis Antonio Tagle has now been named the new pope, an event that has sparked both excitement and debate within religious and global communities. For over a decade, Pope Francis has been a transformative figure in the Catholic Church. His leadership focused on compassion, inclusion, and social justice. He worked to modernize the Church, welcoming discussions on sensitive issues and advocating for the marginalized. However, those close to him say he now feels that his mission is complete. Behind closed doors, he has spoken with his trusted advisors, expressing his readiness to step aside. His tenure was not without challenges. He faced global crises, internal church conflicts, and opposition from conservative factions. Yet, his commitment to reform remained steadfast, ensuring that the Church continued evolving with the times. Now, all eyes are on his successor. Traditionally, the next pope is chosen through a conclave of cardinals, but many believe Pope Francis has had a significant influence on the selection process. Insiders speculate that he wanted someone who shares his progressive vision, someone who would continue to make the Church more inclusive and socially conscious. The timing of this transition is noteworthy. The world is currently celebrating the Jubilee of Hope, an event initiated by Pope Francis in 2020 to inspire renewal and reflection. Now, this moment of reflection coincides with the conclusion of his papacy. Despite stepping down, Pope Francis will be remembered for his bold actions, opening discussions on controversial topics, addressing climate change, and reforming the Vatican's financial system. The transition of papal leadership is always a significant event. It is deeply rooted in tradition and has only happened once before in modern history, when Pope Benedict XVI resigned in 2013. Now history repeats itself as Pope Francis follows a similar path. His departure will shape the future of the Catholic Church, and many are eager to see how the new leadership will address key issues. Inside the Vatican, there is a mix of enthusiasm and uncertainty. The major question is how this shift will impact the Church's stance on critical matters. Will the new pope continue efforts to increase women's roles in leadership? Will the Church adopt a more progressive approach toward LGBTQ+ members? How will it address the ongoing crisis of clerical abuse? These are pressing concerns that will define the future of Catholicism. Beyond religious circles, Pope Francis has been a global leader. His advocacy for social justice, environmental responsibility, and interfaith dialogue has made a lasting impact. Now, with his resignation, the world watches as the Catholic Church prepares for one of the most historic leadership transitions in recent memory. As the Church moves forward, questions arise about Pope Francis's final message to the world's 1.3 billion Catholics. What will his farewell speech emphasize? And more importantly, how will the new pope handle the enormous responsibility ahead? Cardinal Luis Antonio Tagle now steps into one of the most influential positions in the world, with great expectations placed upon him. The process of selecting a new pope is sacred and secretive. The College of Cardinals gathers in the Sistine Chapel to cast their votes, but Pope Francis's influence is still strongly felt. Many of the cardinals participating in the election were appointed by him, meaning they are likely to favor a leader who aligns with his vision. Among the many names considered, one stood out: Cardinal Luis Antonio Tagle. Born in the Philippines but deeply connected to the Vatican, Tagle is recognized as a unifier and a compassionate leader. He has dedicated his career to serving the poor and marginalized, embodying the same values that Pope Francis has championed. Tagle's leadership extends beyond the Church. He has played a key role in humanitarian efforts, working on missions in Africa and advocating for economic reforms that support struggling communities. In Myanmar, he contributed to interfaith dialogue, promoting peace in a country torn by political and ethnic tensions. As the head of Caritas International, the Vatican's humanitarian arm, he has visited refugee camps, offering aid and raising awareness about displaced families. What sets Cardinal Tagle apart is his ability to turn compassion into action. He does not just speak about social justice, he actively works toward it. His involvement in Vatican initiatives has led to funding for education, job training, and healthcare programs in impoverished areas. His leadership has brought hope to countless people around the world. Tagle's close relationship with Pope Francis has fueled speculation that he was always meant to be his successor. In 2019, Pope Francis appointed him as the head of the Congregation for the Evangelization of Peoples, a crucial role in spreading Catholic teachings worldwide. This position placed him at the center of the Church's mission, allowing him to shape the future of Catholicism, particularly in rapidly growing regions. However, Tagle's appointment has not been without controversy. His progressive stance on certain issues has drawn criticism from conservative factions within the Church. His approach to China, where the Vatican has been navigating complex diplomatic relations, has also sparked debate. As the new pope, he will undoubtedly face intense scrutiny, both from within the Church and from the outside world. Despite these challenges, many believe Cardinal Tagle is the right choice to lead the Church into the future. His humility, warmth, and deep theological knowledge make him relatable to Catholics everywhere. He represents continuity with Pope Francis's vision, while also bringing his unique perspective on faith and leadership in a rapidly evolving world. As the world awaits an official statement, one thing is certain: this is a turning point for the Catholic Church. The transition from Pope Francis to Cardinal Tagle signals a new era, one that will shape Catholicism for generations to come. Will Tagle continue the reforms that Francis initiated? Will he be able to unify a church that remains deeply divided? Between tradition and progress, only time will tell. But one thing is undeniable: history is unfolding before our eyes. Pope Francis has made a historic announcement. He has officially stepped down as the head of the Catholic Church. This decision marks a pivotal moment for the Vatican, but what is even more remarkable is the man chosen to take his place. Cardinal Luis Antonio Tagle has now been named the new pope, an event that has sparked both excitement and debate within religious and global communities. For over a decade, Pope Francis has been a transformative figure in the Catholic Church. His leadership focused on compassion, inclusion, and social justice. He worked to modernize the Church, welcoming discussions on sensitive issues and advocating for the marginalized. However, those close to him say he now feels that his mission is complete. Behind closed doors, he has spoken with his trusted advisors, expressing his readiness to step aside. His tenure was not without challenges. He faced global crises,